First contact, final mistake. The signal came from deep space, structured pulses of prime numbers, repeating sequences, and shifting frequencies far too precise to be natural. At first, Earth celebrated. For decades, humanity had stared at the stars and wondered. Now, they knew they weren't alone. Global news agencies ran round-the-clock coverage. Scientists decrypted layers of the transmission, revealing star charts and a countdown. In just under 4 Earth months, visitors would arrive. The United Nations rebranded itself as the United Earth Council, UEC, pooling resources and expertise to prepare a welcome for their celestial guests. Massive landing zones were constructed. Multilingual greetings were recorded. A fleet of orbital drones was launched to greet the incoming vessels with humanity's symbols of peace. But when the Zalvari ships emerged from the black, no one felt peace. They came in silence, black obelisks bristling with energy signatures that defied physics. Hundreds of them, each larger than Earth's most advanced warships. They eclipsed the sun in orbit, blotting out sky and hope alike. Humanity watched as the drones approached, carrying messages of unity and peace. The aliens didn't respond. Then came a voice. Cold, mechanical, translated perfectly. This world is now a possession of the Zalvari Dominion. Surrender all resources, population, and planetary sovereignty. Resistance will be met with eradication. The Earth Council refused. Within minutes, the first strike hit. Beams of searing energy fell from orbit, obliterating London, New York, Beijing, and Moscow in synchronized flashes. Governments collapsed. The skies burned. Billions died in a single day. And yet, Earth did not surrender. Across bunkers, caves, and shattered cities, survivors rallied. General Amelia Drake, once dismissed as a paranoid defense strategist, initiated Protocol Black Sky, an emergency contingency plan for alien invasion. She took command of the fractured remnants of Earth's militaries and activated the Terran Defense Coalition. In the shadows, resistance cells formed. Soldiers, hackers, engineers, and civilians working together with a desperation that no alien empire could predict. They think this is over, Drake growled, staring at satellite footage of Zalvari ships hovering like vultures. They think we're broken. Beside her, a bloodied field tech raised a battered transmitter. Ma'am, global uplink is active. Drake stood before the camera. Her voice, steady and steel, went out across the world and beyond. To the Zalvari, you may have burned our cities, but you have not broken our will. You came to conquer. But what you've awakened is humanity. We are not your prey. We are the storm, the spark of wrath. They called it the Day of Ash. But from the ruins of Earth's greatest cities rose something far more terrifying than the Zalvari had anticipated. Unity. Across scorched continents and blackened skies, the Terran Defense Coalition, TDC, grew like wildfire. There were no more nations, no more borders, just one species with one mission: survive, fight, and make the stars regret ever noticing Earth. General Amelia Drake became the face of resistance. Her broadcasts, short, brutal, and defiant, spread like digital fire through encrypted networks. Civilians built bunkers and workshops beneath the rubble. Scientists dissected the few pieces of alien tech recovered from crash sites. Soldiers, once separated by flags, now fought under one banner: humanity united. In the shadows of fallen skyscrapers, resistance fighters struck. In Los Angeles, a guerrilla unit rigged a collapsed subway station to detonate as a Zalvari patrol passed above. The blast sent twisted metal and alien screams into the night. In the Alps, a mobile science team, led by Dr. Malik Osei, made the first breakthrough. They cracked the interface of a captured Zalvari scout drone. The tech was alien, organic, semi-sentient, but within its core was something familiar: power systems based on quantum feedback loops. Understandable, replicable. This isn't magic, Malik whispered, eyes wide. It's just science, and they made a mistake showing it to us. By the third week, human forces had already modified salvaged alien weapons into railgun prototypes. What they lacked in polish, they made up for in raw, brutal effectiveness. Meanwhile, the Zalvari grew frustrated. Their conquest patterns worked on every species before: shock, awe, domination. But humanity wasn't following the script. They didn't crumble. They adapted. Worse, they fought dirty. On the outskirts of Johannesburg, a human drone swarm hacked from scavenge parts sliced through an alien supply line, then broadcast their success across enemy comms. On loop. The message: we learn. We bleed. You die. The Zalvari's central AI deemed Earth a Category Omega resistance zone, a label used only once in their 1,000-year history. A high-priority anomaly. In orbit, Zalvari Commander Uralkren studied the data feeds, his 4 crimson eyes narrowing. They are primitive, emotion-driven, illogical, yet they evolve faster than our projections. His adjutant responded, voice uncertain. We underestimated their rage. Worse, Uralkren hissed. We fed it. On Earth, deep beneath an old NATO bunker in Norway, General Drake addressed her inner circle. Around her, scavenged alien cores powered Earth's first hybrid fighter prototype, codenamed Valkyrie 1. Phase 1 is over, she said. We've shown them Earth won't kneel. Now we take the fight beyond our skies. Engineer June Park looked up from the reactor core. It's a one-way trip, ma'am. Drake smiled coldly. Then we'll make it count. From Earth to the stars. The first Terran starship wasn't elegant. It wasn't graceful. It didn't hum. It roared. Valkyrie 1, forged from scavenged Zalvari alloys, Earth's last orbital shuttles, and a reactor stitched together by desperate brilliance, shook the Earth as it launched from a hidden base in the Siberian wastes. It wasn't a ship. It was a declaration. Humanity was coming. Inside Valkyrie 1, Commander Elias Rourke, once a test pilot for NASA, now led the first Terran strike team beyond Earth. As the ship tore through the upper atmosphere, he stared at the void ahead, not in fear, but with fury. Behind him sat weapons engineer June Park, linguist turned codebreaker Kira Voss, and the AI, Athena, cobbled together from salvaged Zalvari data cores. A war-born crew for a war-born vessel. Set course for the Zalvari supply hub on Europa 3, Rourke ordered. Time to remind them we're not trapped on Earth anymore. Europa 3 was a Zalvari logistics node, a staging ground for the invasion of other human colonies in the solar system. The plan was simple: infiltrate, sabotage, extract. But no plan survived contact with the enemy. Valkyrie 1 burst from hypershift directly into combat. Turrets lit up, sirens wailed, and Zalvari defense drones swarmed. Rourke grinned. Let's introduce them to Terran chaos. June fired the ship's experimental particle cannon. Raw, unstable, but devastating. It ripped through alien armor like paper. Kira flooded enemy comms with a false retreat order, sowing confusion. In the chaos, Athena hijacked the station's internal systems and locked down defenses. The humans landed, breached, and planted demo charges inside the core. They barely made it back to Valkyrie 1 before Europa 3 exploded behind them, a burning wound in the Zalvari war machine. Back on Earth, the message went out. Europa 3 is dust. Earth fights back, and the galaxy noticed. Other worlds, once silent under Zalvari rule, began to stir. On Kelvarin, an insectoid slave race called the Thrika rose up, using jury-rigged explosives to destroy their overseers. On Vorton 6, the amphibious Delvari declared secession and opened secret channels to Earth. Humanity became more than resistance. They became a symbol. In the TDC's Underground War Council, General Drake stood before a new holographic map. Red once marked only Earth. Now, dozens of rebel cells blinked across alien systems. Recruit them, she ordered. Train them. Arm them. Earth will be the spark, but they'll be the wildfire. Within months, the Free Star Alliance was born, an interspecies coalition led by humans, fueled by revenge and the dream of freedom. The Zalvari Empire, unchallenged for millennia, now faced something it had never encountered: a united front. And, at its heart, the species they had once called primitive. The species now reaching for the stars not as explorers, but as avengers. The shattering of stars. The final assault began with silence. No speeches, no fanfare, just a fleet, assembled from shattered worlds, stitched together by desperation and defiance, emerging from hypershift into the heart of the Zalvari Empire. The target, Zarvakul, the Zalvari throne world, heavily fortified, untouched for millennia, the center of their control over 1,000 species. And now, the battlefield for their reckoning. Leading the charge was Valkyrie 1, upgraded, scarred, and deadly. Commander Elias Rourke sat at the helm, flanked by the original crew and hundreds of ships behind him. Terran gunships, Thrykos skimmers, Delvari warcraft, even reprogrammed Zalvari drones turned against their masters. "This is it," Rourke muttered. "No more retreats. We end them here." Across the galaxy, people watched. Not just humans. All of them. Billions, former slaves, refugees, survivors, held their breath as the final war began. Zardakul's defenses lit up the void with fire and fury. Planetary railguns tore through rebel lines. Orbital fortresses rained plasma like firestorms. But humanity and its allies had come prepared. The Freestar Alliance deployed Project Nemesis, an AI-coordinated assault using predictive algorithms built from thousands of skirmishes. Every human tactic, every alien countermeasure, every battle loss, it had all been studied, adapted, weaponized. The assault punched through the defenses like a spear. Commander Rourke's voice rang out across the fleet. "Push through. No mercy. No surrender." On the ground, General Amelia Drake personally led the infiltration of the Zalvari Citadel. She wore next-gen Terran armor laced with alien nanoweave and carried the hybrid rifle that had become humanity's signature. Crude, brutal, unstoppable. She fought through waves of bioengineered soldiers, flanked by Thrykos berserkers and Delvari commandos. Step by step, hallway by hallway, they stormed the throne chamber. At the heart of the empire, the Zalvari Emperor waited, a towering, four-armed figure of arrogance and pride. "You defy order," he sneered. "You are chaos. You are unworthy of the stars." Drake raised her rifle. "No," she said. "We are the stars. You just didn't see it coming." And she shot him. Live, on every broadcast channel the Freestar Alliance could hijack. The footage played. The Emperor collapsing, the Terran flag planted beside his throne, the symbol of a shattered empire. The war wasn't just over. It was rewritten. A week later, in the newly formed Galactic Accord, humanity was offered the seat of leadership. Drake refused. "We didn't fight to rule," she said. "We fought to rise, to make sure no species ever kneels again." But Earth was changed. It was no longer just a blue planet in a quiet arm of the galaxy. It was a legend, a spark, a warning. And as stars shimmered across the void, one phrase echoed in every corner of the cosmos. They came to conquer Earth. Instead, they awakened our wrath, and we shattered their stars.